look at me talking about Godzilla. It's crazy to even think that I am talking about Godzilla, but this only happened because I watched someone talk about the 1998 Godzilla that had, like, Matthew Broderick and, like, a bunch of Simpsons actors in it. You know, that movie where they go, that's a lot of fish, and Godzilla looks like a dinosaur more than, Godzilla. Yeah, that movie. We're talking about that movie. Because apparently, this movie was going to have a trilogy, but, it did bad, so it didn't get that trilogy, because, their, sequel rights / remake rights expired in 2003 on May 20th. So let's talk about it. To give you a quick recap about Godzilla 1998, it's an American monster film directed and co-written by Roland Emmerich, produced by Centropolis Entertainment, Fried Films, and Independent Pictures, and distributed by TriStar Pictures. It's a reboot of the Toho Godzilla franchise, and it's also the 23rd film in the franchise and the first Godzilla film to be completely produced by a Hollywood studio. The film stars, Matthew Broderick, Jean Reno, Maria Pitillo, Hank Azaria, Simpsons, Kevin Dunn, Michael Linner, and Harry Shearer. The film is dedicated to Tomoyuki Tanaka, the co-creator and producer of various Godzilla films, who died in April 1997. This movie was theatrically released on May 20th of 1998. So it's a good thing that this guy died before he could see this movie, because if he did see this movie, this is probably what would have killed him. Let me truly break this down for you. In October of 1992, TriStar announced plans to produce a trilogy of Godzilla films. In May of 1993, Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio were hired to write the script, and in July of 1994, Jan de Bont was announced as a director but left the project in December due to budget disputes. Then, Emmerich was hired in May 1996 to direct and co-write a new script with producer Dean Devlin. Principal photography began on May 1997 and ended in September of 1997. Godzilla was then theatrically released on May 20th of 1998. But, of course, it got negative reviews and grossed only $379 million worldwide against a production budget between $130 and $150 million and marketing costs of $80 million, becoming the third highest grossing film of 1998. And despite turning a profit, though, it was a box office disappointment, and nobody looks back on this film fondly. And this is where we get into the part that the planned sequels that we were going to get were canceled. But we did get an animated series. More on that in the next video. So, what were these movies going to be about? Granted, I've never seen Godzilla 1999. Like I said, did I just say 1999? I meant to say 1998, but still, I've never seen this movie. I saw a video about it on YouTube. It intrigued me. Godzilla looks freaking weird. I wanted to make a video about it. So, let's just get into it. TriStar planned to make, 2 more Godzilla films after the first Godzilla film, upon acquiring the license for Godzilla in 1992. Emmerich had considered using the Monster Island concept from the Toho films with the intention of creating something wild, as well as including 6 or 7 monsters, stating, "We'll probably come up with other monsters because we don't want to tie ourselves too much to certain things." When you say shit like this, that's not a good sign. Do you know how many Godzilla monsters there are? There are so many Godzilla monsters. In the newer reboots, we saw freaking Mothra. And God, did she look pretty. I love Mothra. My beautiful moth queen. Prior to the 1998 film release, Sony felt confident enough with the potential box office success they paid Toho $5 million for sequel rights, which guaranteed them to produce a sequel within 5 years following the film's first release, so long as it was in active development. Devlin had confirmed plans for a trilogy, stating, "We have had a Godzilla trilogy in mind. The second one is remarkably different from the first one, and if it's embraced, a third one will make a whole lot of sense. I don't see us doing more than 3, but I would love to finish telling out the story." Emmerich and Devlin commissioned a treatment by Tab Murphy titled Godzilla 2. The sequel would have involved the surviving offspring battling a giant insect in Sydney. Now keep in mind, technically, they did this in the Godzilla show, the Godzilla series that came out in 1998, where the main character from the first movie, Dr. Tapalos, accidentally discovers an egg that survived the aerial bombardment before it hatched, which is a minor change from the ending of the 1998 film. And because of that, this Godzilla grows on its own, and he, protects people. So they technically were going to do that for the sequel of the movie, but because the movie did so bad, they just put it into the TV show instead, which the show did good. but we'll get into the show in another video. The studio abandoned sequel plans due to a lack of enthusiasm from fans, audiences, theater owners, and licenses, and Emmerich and Devlin left due to a budget dispute. Devlin stated that they wanted to tailor budget-wise so that it didn't make sense for us creatively. Devlin stated that they left the film with an open ending in case the success allowed them to return for sequels, and despite Emmerich's comments that Sony was absolutely ready to produce a sequel, he later revealed that he advised the studio to not produce a sequel, stating, "It's so strange because people expect it to be the biggest thing ever. Then it only did well. They are disappointed, and you have to defend yourselves." Sony had considered a reboot with the new series, this is Sony stating itself, from the 1998 film. However, TriStar let their remake sequel rights expire on May 20th of 2003, so we never got one of this series ever again. While that did so bad, I am great with the MonsterVerse that we have currently, with the movies such as Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, the newer one, not the old one from, and then Kong vs. X Godzilla, the New Empire. I'm loving that version of Godzilla. He looks so cool. I'm pretty sure that's Shin Godzilla from what I understand. But then again, I didn't watch the 2014 Godzilla film, but I did hear it was pretty sick. So yeah. So now that that's all out of the way, thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you want me to talk about Godzilla 2000s. It's a movie that Toho made. Well, they made it in 1999, but it's called Godzilla 2000's Millennium. And it's the 24th film in the Godzilla franchise, so I guess Toho wanted to fix what America did because it ignited the Millennium series, and they did originally plan to revive the series in 2005 to commemorate the franchise's 50th anniversary, and they chose to revive the series early due to popular demand. But I feel like they did this because America did a really horrible job with Godzilla, which currently we're not doing a bad job with Godzilla because of the Godzilla MonsterVerse franchise with the King of the Monsters, Kong vs. Godzilla, and Godzilla x Kong New Empire. So there's that. What's really funny is that the producer of the 2014 Godzilla films or whatever, Thomas Tull, he was adamant about keeping their Godzilla design consistent with the Toho version, and he expressed puzzlement as to why the crew behind the TriStar Godzilla one from 1998 drastically changed the design to the point that he was unrecognizable. And I wholeheartedly agree with him. Godzilla looks, pull a picture, Godzilla looks weird. Can we all agree he does not even look like Godzilla? He just looks like a dinosaur. Can we all agree? Godzilla's not a dinosaur, man. He's just Godzilla. Like, you can't just change him to look like that. My man Godzilla, he don't deserve this. Justice for my man Godzilla. I mean, he already got justice because of the MonsterVerse movies, but justice for Godzilla. I've mentioned that Godzilla 1998 was really bad, but the only good thing to come out of Godzilla 1998 was the Godzilla TV series that we got in 1998, the same year that the movie came out, but like still, it did a whole lot better than the movie. The show came out on September 12th of 1998, but as I mentioned before, I would like to talk about that in a separate video, but I'm just going to say right here that this is the sickest series ever, and we've had some Godzilla cartoons before. The one that I'll be mentioning in another video is Hanna-Barbera's Godzilla, and another one that I'll be mentioning in another video is Godzilla's anime from 2021 that might get a season 2 soon if we just ask nicely, just ask nicely. I think both equally look good, although 1978 Godzilla is very cartoonish looking, which they did technically want to make him look like that for the original Kong vs. Godzilla, which I'm not making a video about, but I just think it's cool they fought before. I didn't know that until before I went to see the newer Kong vs. Godzilla movie. I didn't see Kong x Godzilla New Empire, but I just wanted to point that out, for you guys to know. But thank you for watching the video. Let me know if you want more Godzilla content, like I mentioned before. I wouldn't mind doing more Godzilla content. Just don't ask me to do Godzilla analog horror videos. The ones that I know currently, there are 3. The Man in the Suit, the Summation Trials, and the Godzilla Virus. Yeah, if people are already reacting to it, I don't want to react to it if people are already reacting to it. Because, like, I just don't want to hop on the train of, like, people already reacting to it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, sorry for not doing Godzilla analog horror. I don't really want to. I like Godzilla analog horror. I just don't want to copy people, Like, I mean, I really want to watch them, but like, they haven't been updated yet. It's the same thing for Batman's analog horror series. Someone else is already reacting to it. But Sotrix is making a Superman one, so I will wait for Sotrix to make more Superman ones before I react to that one. And Pukaru released tape 4 for the Freak of Nature thing, which I did say in the video that I would react to 4, 5, and 6 in another thing. I'm going to wait for 5 and 6 to come out before I react to the Pukaru stuff, so I just want to, like, lay that all out there. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment down below, as I mentioned before, all the other stuff. Make sure to turn on post notifications to be notified for all my videos. I am finally chugging along through all the videos I have to make. I've made thumbnails for several videos that I'm planning this week. I think today will be 2 back-to-back Godzilla stuff. Or 3 back-to-back Godzilla stuff. No, 2 back-to-back, and then tomorrow will also be 2 back-to-back Godzilla stuff. So, the next video immediately after this one will be about the 1998 Godzilla series we got after the really bad movie and stuff like that. And then tomorrow will be the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla and the anime Godzilla. And then after that, it's Sunday today. Tomorrow is more Godzilla. That's Monday. And then Tuesday will be back-to-back banana splits. Tuesday and Wednesday are back-to-back banana splits. And then regular videos after that. So, bye.